Hey yo, it's Nigel, gaming the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. Just got through the door, and we're at the arcade. We got our badges and event program. Let's go check it out.
Being serious though, my sincerest apologies for the audio issues. We had some mechanical difficulties while we were recording. Regardless, I had to share our experience this October at the Portland Gaming Expo. The arcade alone was worth the price of admission. My crew almost got stuck in here. Ultimately, I relinquished the Marvel Superheroes cabinet. It's time to complete my mission to find a Nintendo GameCube. You see, years ago when I left Portland, I was forced to sell my GameCube for gas money. It only seemed poetic to retrieve its replacement from the Portland Gaming Expo. And boy did I find a few. After surveying the entire expo, this console bundle seemed like the best deal, including this clear blue controller.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
An original GameCube with its original AV cable and AC adapter for $100 is a good deal. The memory card is a nice bonus, but the controller though.
Hey yo, I got these two Switch games.
Just kidding, I can't do it. For the sake of clarity, I'll attempt to succinctly break down what I'm saying. Typically, vendors travel far distances with the intent of unloading their merchandise onto the consumer. With this in mind, vendors will oftentimes trade for other rare items that may have a higher potential of being sold, sometimes at a higher value. I brought two popular rare Nintendo Switch games. First, Signalis, a survivor horror game released in 2022 that recently increased in popularity. It peaked at about $130 and currently at this recording is valued at $100 on price charting. Second, Super Mario 3D All-Stars, a low-print Nintendo first-party game that is currently highly sought after. It's maintained about a $90 to $100 value for the last year or so. I happen to have 3, so I am more than willing to part with them. Let's see if this vendor is willing to negotiate a trade for their GameCube. Good sir, are you willing to make a trade? Well, yes, of course. I see that you have a GameCube over there that you are selling for $100. Me, I have this. Signalus. A Nintendo Switch game. I'm sure you've heard of it. It's valued at about $100. I've never heard of that game ever before, and I probably wouldn't just trade a Switch game for a GameCube. Let me see what price charting has to say. Yes. Let's see. Signalus. Yes. Well, for this, I'd be willing to do $60. $60. Yes. Well, how about this? I'm sure you've heard of this other Switch game that I also have to have with me. 3D All-Stars. I'm sure you've heard of it. Nope, never heard of it. Let me see what price charting has to say. Awkward silence. Yes. Still holding its value, I see. Awkwardly pausing. Doing math in my head. I'd be willing to give you $40. Wait, if I give you these games, you leave me $40 and the GameCube. Yes, and the GameCube, of course. $40. 2 games valued at $100, and I get $40. Wait one moment. What about this? I see that you have a Game Boy converter there. How much would that do me if you were to throw that into the pot? Oh yes, I have the CD in perfectly good shape. This Game Boy converter for the GameCube works perfectly fine. I'm selling it for $200 and the GameCube for $100. Yes, it is quite a good deal. For both of those, I would be willing to take from you. How about $40? $40. Well, I gotta think about that one. Alright, full transparency. The Game Boy player threw me into a tailspin. I had never seen one before and definitely did not expect to see one today. I know what they're selling it for is a good price, and I know that it'll go up in the future, but I don't see myself really investing in Game Boy anytime soon.
Hey yo, you know the like button on the screen? If you made this far in the video, I appreciate you sharing your time with me. Subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Okay, I see you. Hey, yeah. Let's do this. Okay, yep.
Hey-o, hey-o, hey.
Hey! Yo. It's Nigel. Gaming. Portland Retro Gaming Expo Day 2. Sunday, feeling a little bit confident, did my homework and found that Signalist was actually going to be reprinted on VGP, so I went ahead and bought a copy. And while I was at it, I bought the Capcom Fighting Collection. So I'm feeling pretty good. I stopped at Rose City Comics on my way to the Expo, took my time. It's my favorite comic book shop in the city, and I honestly don't really get to traverse around the city, especially when the weather is nice. That's a rare opportunity, so I took advantage. Since moving back to Portland, I really haven't had the chance to explore the way that I used to before I left, so I took the Expo and the nice weather as an excuse to really take my time and check out what the city has to offer now. So I parked somewhere close by to the convention center and hopped on the train and legitimately took my time getting back to the Expo. I'm probably beating a dead horse by saying this, but the weather in Portland is rarely nice. So I took my time and crossed the steel bridge to take in all the views and really appreciate how beautiful it was today. But honestly, I probably took way too long and was enjoying my traverse a little too much. Of course, me and the crew checked out the arcade one more time, but we probably stayed a little too long.
I sold the black GameCube yesterday, so no, you're good.
It took too long.
It's all good.
I liked it. I guess just for your shits and giggles, I got this to see if you're interested. I know it's like popular at the moment. I don't know.
He's already said no like 5 times. Yeah, I tried
It's popular
to.
now because they're releasing the Marvel vs. collection. I still want to trade these two though. I want the GameCube.
Oh, you're looking for the player?
Yeah.
I'm just kind of hesitant because I haven't sold any Switch games. So I'm like, would it make sense for me to grab more Switch games?
That's worth $9,000. $9,000. You person, that person.
Those are a little more rare than the ones you have.
I have the. Okay, yeah. Do these two at 80 to get one player and this
So 60 each.
yeah. So usually I take trade-ins at like 78%.
I'm trying to trade
Appreciate it, though.
Take care, man.
So that did not go the way that I planned. So we retreated to the arcade and I thought about it for a little bit. He offered about $40 less. They didn't have the GameCube that I wanted, so it wasn't really ideal. We checked out the arcade. They had the new Power Rangers beat 'em up on display, so check that out. And my crewmate was on the hunt for Xbox 360 games, so we went and checked out to see what they had, which was quite a bit. However, while we were looking, I saw that one of the GameCubes that I saw before was still available. So I stopped to see if the vendor was willing to make a trade. And I was pleasantly surprised to find out that he was. So much so that I wasn't really ready to record and I had to stop what we were doing to document it. So, trading in these two games, Signalist and Super Mario 3D All-Stars, for a GameCube in the box. Guy, he agreed to do it, so it's awesome. Thank you, man.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Cheers, appreciate you.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Grab the-
Okay, is there a way to test it to make sure it works
So this has, that's in my store.
in the
We're
store?
located in Tacoma, India.
Okay.
If you do have any issues, we do have a car down over there. Just give us a call, contact us. Either advice for us.
Okay. And this has the cables and everything. Awesome, dude. And a controller. Dope. Great, man. Appreciate the deal. Totally unexpected. I'm glad it worked out.
This is a lot easier for us to take home than a big box.
That's true, right? Doesn't weigh as much.
Are you local?
I am local, yeah. I live in Portland, St. John's. Sweet. Thanks, man. Thanks, dude.
All right, here she is in all of her glory. A complete inbox Nintendo GameCube. Finally acquired after all this time. A huge shout out to Super Smash Video Games in Tacoma, Washington. If you're ever in the area, please go check them out. They've got a great selection of retro and modern games. And if you can't go, check out their website. They've got a lot to offer. Again, huge thanks. Finally achieving something that I've been trying to do for years now after selling my GameCube for gas money. Finally, I have it in my hands. All of the original parts, the AV cable, the power adapter, and even an original black GameCube controller are in relatively good condition. Admittedly, the controller was a little bit scuffed, but considering what my other option was, this is more than perfect, okay? Having the original parts again, like the same GameCube that I sold, is... it just feels really good to finally get this back in my hands. The nostalgia, the feels, it's all over the place, but the day's finally come. Here she is. My Nintendo GameCube. Ready to rock and roll. The jewel on the top of the console itself has seen better days, but come to find out that people actually recover and refurbish these and sell them online on eBay, so it's relatively easy to replace. Doesn't really bother me, but if it does, you know, one day I'll just swap them out. It's not a big deal. Now, as far as that Game Boy player goes that attaches to the bottom of the console, I do feel a little bit bad about not picking it up when I had the chance. I mean, honestly, finding that for $200 in 2024 is probably, never gonna happen again. Like, those things are typically around $250, $300, on a good day. I'll probably look for it later, but the idea of collecting for the Game Boy just seems like a hurdle right now. I have so many other things that I'm collecting for, but one day, of course, I'll look back and think about how I would have saved a few $100s by buying it now, but I really just wanted the GameCube. The Game Boy player was just the cherry on top, but you know me, I'm here for the cake, baby. Oh, one last thing before I forget. The vendor actually admitted to me the reason why he was willing to make the trade was because he didn't want to have to carry the GameCube back to Tacoma. It's like I said, these guys are willing to unload things for a good deal, and it worked out in my favor. I even ended up getting those games that I traded in back for a regular price. Win-win. Now the moment of truth, the startup. Ah, the sound of the GameCube starting up. It's great how just some sounds can bring you back to happier days. I have so many memories of playing Soul Calibur, Rogue Squadron, Melee, Double Dash. I mean, what a great library. Small but mighty. So much to look forward to all over again. A huge thanks to Portland Retro Gaming Expo for making this dream come true. We'll see you again next year in 2025. Hey yo, you know the like button is free? If you made it this far in the video, we appreciate you spending your precious time with us. Subscribe and we'll see you in the next one.